What's happening, everybody? Flip your flow. Freddie here. Got a special guest today, my boy Donnie. I'm gonna let him introduce himself. Donnie, what's up with you, man? Where you from? What you got going on?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm from Denver, born and raised, Park Hill area, but I've been all around the world.
Okay. So what you got? What you got going on in life right now, man? I wanna kind of touch on your story because you like a successful black man doing his thing. He was once incarcerated, you know, and I just want to get a quick little insight from you.
Oh, man, my life, I grew up in the Denver metro area back in the early 80s. Late 80s, early 90s. So if anybody knows anything about Denver at that time, it was a tough place for being a minority and then a black man coming up in that area that we grew up in. So not understanding life and being able to like adjust or have people around you to show you certain things, we made bad decisions.
Yeah, that's solid.
Yeah.
That's solid.
Know what I'm
I've
saying?
been there.
So those bad decisions make you be in unfortunate situations, and that's how I end up incarcerated. I take full accountability for what I done. I pay my debt to society.
Definitely.
Got back out. I haven't committed a crime. Haven't been convicted of a felony in 21 years.
That's nice.
I gave back to the youth. I started a youth organization back in 2000, I want to say 8. It went to 2012 to 2013.
Okay. What was you doing there?
Um,
There we go.
we specialize in Little League football and Little League basketball. That was my thing. I love to play sports. I love to be around kids that loved, sports. Plus, I love to give back to less fortunate. You know what I'm saying? The kids that really didn't have, and the kids that grew up where I grew up. So I kind of understood the lifestyle that they come from, and I can like connect with them. So when I started, I took a team that was 0-11. They didn't win a game the year before I took over as a head coach, and the next year they went 10-1. They lost the game before the championship. The next 2 years we won championships.
Okay.
And I still talk to a lot of those kids to this day. They're like 21, 22 years old. So my impact on them and my story kind of shaped a lot of those young men's life. We got a lot in college. We got a lot still playing football. And then we got the ones, grew up in the same era that I grew up in, that experienced the trials and tribulations of growing up as a black man.
That's dope. Yeah, that's dope. What was the name of the team?
I started with the Northeast Tigers, and then when I started my own organization, we were the Denver Bengals.
Okay, that's cool, man. It's you don't get that a lot, out in the community. I mean, you might, but you don't really hear about it too much.
Yeah, the dudes that do a lot of the nonprofit, I don't think they get a lot of the recognition that they deserve. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the toughest things you can do because you're volunteering your time. Time you can't never get back. So, money don't really evolve to time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So time is money. So if you're giving your time away, you're taking away from your money essentially.
Yeah.
So the guys that do it every day, I commend them.
Yeah. A couple? You want to shout out a couple?
Yeah. We got Dane Washington over there with the Pirates.
Okay. Shout out.
We
Dane.
got Brazen them over there with the Falcons.
Okay. The big homie.
I'm going to give a shout out to my little cousin Thomas. He's with the Pirates. They got 7U. He got a son, number 7, playing quarterback, which, they doing their thing. I think they 4-0, 5-0, something like that.
Okay.
They just won 34-0 this weekend. So big shout out to the Pirates, 7U. Big ups.
Okay. That's what's up, man. It's good to have good, active community people, man. What are you doing anything like community-wise right now, or what you got going on?
Nah, man, I just dropped through and I watch from afar now.
Okay.
Like I think I paid a lot of my dues on the sideline. I threw my
Okay.
hat a lot. I threw a lot of clipboards. I cussed out a lot of referees. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But we also kicked a lot of ass. You know,
Yeah.
so I enjoy to see the younger generation come through and give that same tutelage. I even though I didn't coach with the Pirates, I still took a lot of everything I learned from Herman White and what I learned from Coach Cummings and what I learned from all the coaches there. Man, I took that to the other side of Northeast Denver, and it's still a winning formula.
Yeah.
So to see those young dudes execute and be able to put 6 and 7 year olds in that same opportunity is great.
It's nice that they don't have to go through what we went through. As far as like being in the streets and going to prison and just different avenues that we necessarily didn't have to take, but like you said, we didn't have that guidance and we didn't have that one person or someone to show us and give us, you know what I mean, the confidence that we really needed in order to really believe in ourselves.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think we had mentors back then, but it was just more so. It was a dog eat dog world. You got to figure it out yourself. Nowadays, with the internet, social media, different outreach companies and different people that actually put their life on the line to save the youth and to save the black community here in Colorado. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And they do a great job. I seen them turn kids around. I seen them turn families around. Give life to situations that most would think would be lifeless. So the outreach and just the knowledge, I think that's what it comes with. Because if you lack knowledge, you lack understanding, and if you lack understanding, you can't implement anything. You know what I'm saying? So that goes back to going back to the deaf, dumb, and blind religion. That's just what they want. They want you to not understand what's going on in a civilization to where you need to understand. But if it's put in front of you and you choose not to understand it, then
That's on you.
That's something you got to deal with. But
Yeah.
it's there and it's helpful. There's plenty of nonprofit organizations that you can get help from. Mental health, physical health. They got food drives. They got pretty much everything you need to pretty much make it in a tough environment and in a tough economy.
Right. And I feel like there's really no excuse at this point,
You
unless
know,
you mental, you know what I mean? That's the only thing I could really think of.
man, excuses come to those that want to make them.
Right.
So if you want a good life and you want to do it, the opportunity's there. You just got to take advantage.
Definitely. Definitely. So what you own a trucking company or what's going on with that?
So this is with my trucking experience, man. I had the ups and I had the downs in the transportation industry. I started off great, bro. I think when I hit the ground running, I probably amazed myself at what I was an accomplish in that industry, not really knowing it. I came from a sales background. After I got out of prison, I didn't have too many opportunities to get jobs, but I could talk good.
Mm-hmm.
And over the phone, I could articulate myself.
Yeah.
So I did sales for like 12 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I was good at it, and I made money, and I pretty much was content. The opportunity for me to become a trucker came from one of my friend's dads, and was like, bro, you could really get to it. What the way you talk, you can close deals.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really. I didn't even know how to drive a stick shift at that time.
Right.
I went to prison at 21. I like fly cars, so I had a Cadillac when I went to prison. When I got out, I had a Benz. I never drove a stick shift my whole life. I'm 42 years old. I still haven't drove a car stick shift.
Right.
So when I got into trucking, I had to really like reframe my mind. I learned how to drive an 18-speed stick shift.
That's heavy.
through the mountains with hazardous material. When I done that, I figured I could pretty much do anything. So I started my own logistics company.
Okay.
I jumped off the porch just like I did anything else. Put the money behind me. I went and bought a truck. I didn't know anything about trucking. I had my sister. She had been in the game 20 years. So she pretty much guided me on what I needed to do. I couldn't even, literally, I failed the CDL test 3 times because I couldn't back. I didn't know how to back. It was my biggest fear. I didn't know how to back that big old truck.
I'm not fucking with the big trucks.
You know, I couldn't do it. So I failed 3 times. I had to get my B license. Did that for 6 months. Got with a company called Veolia. They paid for me to get my A license. I failed that twice. They told me, one more time you fail, bro, you done. So I passed.
You was determined.
I don't even know how I passed, bro. I'm just be honest. I passed, though.
You didn't pray?
Yeah, I prayed like a mother sucker.
Yeah.
I passed, and I got sick. I got exposed to hazardous material on a rail car. Don't know how. I used all the proper PPE. I did everything the proper way. I got sick. I got a blood clot in my portal artery. I was a 220-pound guy.
I think I remember that, yeah.
I went down to like 96 pounds. I moved my life insurance from like 150,000 to like 2 million. It got to the point to where they told me don't even really come to the office and do like light duty. Like they just pay me to be at home chilling. I did that for like 2.5 years. And then when they told me I couldn't drive, my CDO was still active, but I was still a grinder. I still figured I could do this trucking shit. I just couldn't do it for them at the time. So that's why I started Harrison Co Logistics. My sister was a driver. She knew that part of the game, so I kind of convinced her, like, hey, leave your job, and I'm going to pay you better than them.
Okay.
And I didn't even know what I was doing. I just figured, hey, if we can make $5,000, you making $1,000 a week, I'm going to give you $1,500.
Right.
You know, it got to going so well, I could give her $2,500 a week, you know, and
you did this just on the strength, like just off of faith, yeah.
Just off of being a sales rep, being able to call into brokers and being able to talk to them about money.
That's a hell of a story.
Because I had the sales background. You know, I worked with a sales company. We did high pitch collections. They call it collections. It's more about accounts receivable and management. So I would talk to CFOs. I would talk to, you know, anybody that dealt with the money at Fortune 500 companies about $1 million accounts and companies that owed them. So I wasn't uncomfortable with talking about the money I could receive.
Right.
It was more of a layup, like, hey, we can do this for $8,000. Okay. And them speaking to me, you know, the emails, you know, they like, all right, cool, who else is going to do it? Well, let's go get it. And, you know, I wasn't even a driver. I was sick.
Yeah.
So I dispatched my sister.
You was the boss, pretty much. You know.
We made the money.
Yeah.
You know, I did
and
my part.
You wasn't selfish about it. Like, you was, you know what I mean? I ain't never known you as to be a selfish guy.
You know, man, everybody eats, bro. It's, my dad taught me at an early age that if you spread the money around and you let everybody eat, there's enough money for everybody. And, you know, it's about energy. So even if that person don't do right or that person don't do right, that don't affect your energy.
Yeah.
It might delay your energy, but
you can also stiff arm too, like, you know, get away from me type stuff.
It ain't even about like stiff arming, because at a point you become, with the people that you deal with and the people that you pay, you become, I'm not gonna say like friends, because it's more than a friendship. You know, you know that this is taking care of their family, so you don't want that to go away. Just like, you know, your job, if you go to work every day, you know, you don't want that to go away because you got this. And it's kind of like that. So it's like more than a friendship. It's like more than a partnership, but not quite family, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think a lot of people neglect that type of relationship because they think that, you know, you may be getting more, or, well, yeah, of course I'm getting more because my responsibility is more.
Right.
You could take this responsibility,
Right.
and I'll take
trade.
your responsibility.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lot of people, they don't want the accountability and the responsibility, but they want the dividends that come along with your responsibilities, you know? So that's what I ran into. So after we ran windows
Mm-hmm.
from Dallas to Tampa. I did that for like a year and a half. And then, you know, the contract guy in me, I was waiting on windows one day, and I took a mail load.
Mm-hmm.
I took a mail load from Tampa back to Denver. And when I got back to Denver, he asked me how fast I got back. How did I get back so fast? I was like, it's two of us.
Right.
It's me and my sister.
Yeah. So we don't
He's
gotta
like,
take breaks.
bro. He's like, bro, I got a contract right now, right today if you want it. You need another truck, but it's a 6-day contract, goes from Colorado, El Paso, Texas, Oklahoma, back to Colorado. 6 days, $3,700 a day, and I give it to you. I said, well, I only got one truck, bro. He said, go get another one. So I went and got another one.
Okay.
I had an investor. She invested. She gave me some bread. I invested. We ran it up. Contract paid like $700,000 the first year, 2022. We ran up $700,000, and that's $700,000 to the trucks. And you could do the math through $3,700 a day, 6 days a week.
Yeah.
You know,
Legally.
and I got the statements.
Yeah.
Harrison Co Logistics. Look it up.
Yeah.
And you know, that all came. I just still didn't know what I was doing.
Okay.
But
you did it though. You made it happen.
We did it. We ran in the post office. We had the government contract. Bro, we was getting so much to where I could give this guy, like, bro, I can't take this. I want to hang out. You want to take this load to Waukene, Kansas? You want to take, it's $1,600. It's 4 hours. You want to, you know, that's how much they was feeding us.
Right.
You know, and then COVID came.
I think COVID messed a lot of people up. Everybody, even the major corporations.
So I didn't see COVID coming, you know. I didn't. I was sick. So I had to prepare, like when I had 21 surgeries from 2021 to 2023. You know, we ran 700,000 in 2022. I didn't even touch a steering wheel. Well, I touched the steering wheel,
Right.
but I wasn't supposed to.
Right.
But I touched the steering wheel, but I have 4 drivers, and I would just, you know, if this guy called off, I would hop on, you know. But I was the type of guy to where some days I would have to drive that truck, and I would have to get dropped off early because I had to go have surgery. You know, I was having, you know, it's called ascites in my abdomen. Mm-hmm. So they was pulling out like 8 to 12 liters a week of ascites out of my abdomen. So I would hop out the truck and go to the doctor and get ascites pulled out and still be dispatched, and they would never even know what was going on. Like, straight up, I would drive to Dallas. I would drive back. I would hop out the truck, like, hey, park it, get the keys to my sister. I'm drive me off right here. Be going to the ER.
Wow. Straight
up, true story, bro.
Wow. Yeah, that's I don't even know what to say about that. That's deep. Like, cause I kind of like partially remember you being sick, and like your energy was like real low when you was still moving around. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah. It's just my phone always going crazy. Yeah, but yeah, man, that time was I think I thought I was gonna die, so I was just grinding. I was just grinding, and then when I didn't die, like, I know that sounds crazy.
That's solid though. Yeah.
It's like when I didn't die, when, you know, God was like, yo, hey, you did enough dirt, you ain't gonna die. We ain't ready for you yet.
Right.
I went on a spree to where I was just like, I'm gonna mask all of my pain and all of the scars with material things.
Mm.
You know, so I went on like I bought a house, I bought all type of cars, all type of jewelry. I went on lavish trips, boats. You know, I bought my kids shit. You know, did things with them that, you know, hopefully put experiences in their mind, forever. I did things I never done. I drove an ATV through the jungle. I jumped in what my ex-girlfriend calls anaconda water.
Yeah.
I did things, I thought it was a newfound life.
Yeah.
I wasn't really worried about money.
Right.
I was just worried about like living
Yeah.
and bringing, life to the world. So I had a good time,
Yeah.
and I'm still having a good time.
As you should be. You earned
So,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you earned that. So, how many kids you got?
I got 3.
You got 3?
I
Boys,
got 3.
girls, what?
I got 2 boys.
Okay.
And I got a girl.
Okay. And the youngest is the baby boy.
Yeah, that's little Don Weezy.
Yeah, my little
Donnie
guy.
3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's my little guy, man.
Spoiled to death.
Yeah, man. I'm trying, bro. I'm trying.
No, you're not trying. You doing. Don't discredit yourself for that.
We trying to, I'm trying. So with my first son, I did a lot of prison time.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't really there as an active father the way I thought I should be, and I think that affects me in his relationship to this day.
Right.
So I break my ass to make sure this one gets 100% of me.
Right.
Through the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah.
Saying you got me. However it come, I'm here.
Yeah.
So shit.
And I mean, even like I'm in the same situation with my oldest. My oldest is 20 and a junior in college, doing really well. And my mom raised her, so it was like, she would bring her to see me in prison and stuff like that. But it was, it's not, you never can get that time back, especially when they're like little kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. With that, man, I don't think they so. Not to give you too much of my history, but my dad, had life in prison. You know what I'm saying? And his dad had not life, but did time in prison. My brother done time in prison. Me, I done time in prison. So me not showing my son the lifestyle and me being a humble motherfucker got me disrespected in a lot of ways, because I'm cool with him being a square.
Right.
I'm cool with him liking music, but he don't think I'm cool with that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we bump heads because, you grew up different than I grew up. You didn't have to do what I had to do, but that also comes with, the way you live now, is it the way you lived then? Even though, the accomplishments might be the same when it comes down to fly cars, jewelry, houses, but the way that you acquire them becomes different. Right. So the way I acquired things when I was younger, now I acquire things to where, I got a bank meeting at 2:00 to open up more accounts because these accounts is almost at the max. Right. You know what I'm saying? So the way I live is a little different, but you can't explain that to somebody that only looks at you as a 20-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Or only knows you from your failed experiences as a 20-year-old, and they never change the view of you, of that person. So you can't give knowledge and understanding of your experiences to somebody that doesn't really fully understand what you've been through in your transformation. So you just got to show them, and, being in that when you ain't there as a parent, and then the other parent is doing the best that they can, trying to move on with their life, it's kind of, they don't have the time to install your values into that child. You know what I'm saying? So your values is never going to be with a child that, I did 8 calendar years in the Department of Corrections. So that's 8 calendar years that my values, my morals, my understandings, my grind, the way I eat, the way I cook, the way I tie your shoe, how I show you how to ride that bike, that's not going to come from me, you
That's
know?
deep, yeah.
So when you get out, it ain't like riding a bike.
Right.
Now you got to fight. You got to fight for time. You got to fight for love.
Yeah.
You got to fight for conversations. So how do you have time for morals? How do you have time to teach your seed anything that's beneficial that you learned when you got nothing but barriers, hurdles, bumps? And then time don't wait for no man, so this is ticking.
Mm-hmm.
And you still gotta live because you gotta eat.
Yeah.
You gotta, live your life, but then you still trying to put life into somebody else that you gotta fight.
Yeah, you gotta pretty much get to know all over again.
Yeah.
You know?
And sometimes that person may not like who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And that be the struggle. So even though you can see they life because you've been there 20 years ago, and you like, if this little nigga just listen, and not even listen, like execute, because I was an executor. When my big homies put a play in front of me, I could execute it. I done it. I execute it. I do great. When it comes down to those things, that's like when it comes down to trucking or it comes down to sales, I know how to execute a game plan. When I was a coach, I could execute a game plan. I could see your defense. I could pick the holes in your defense, and I could score and I could win. And if I could pick too many holes in your defense, I'm going to humiliate you. So that's just how I was raised, That's just how Park Hill really put up in me to where, you got to have thick skin and you got to be able to make it through any storm. And that's just my life, through anything, through
Shit,
it all.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? You doing your thing, man. You inspire me, because even when, I came home, just like the simplest thing, like, bro, you got a phone, you need a phone. You know what I mean? Just the littlest of things that made a big difference to me and made it easier for me,
Yeah.
is
Because I know that struggle, homie. I didn't have nobody. I had my mama. She wouldn't buy me no phone. I'm just glad she let me stay at her house. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And when I came home, like I said, I was 20 years old. So I came home to a whole closet full of Jordans. I couldn't fit no clothes.
Yeah.
I had to sell them J's and get them phones.
Yeah.
And them clothes and, had to go work at this, man, it's called Hospitality off of 38th in Newport, bro. It's probably the hardest shit I ever done in my life. I was in there with some real live paisas. If you know how hard paisas work on the conveyor belt, oh my God, I said, they said, bro, you got to work here. You can't leave for 30 days or you gonna. I was like, I don't even know how I made it. But now, now we delivering fuel, bro, and it's the easiest thing I ever done.
Oh yeah, you ain't got to do nothing with that.
Just pushing a button.
Yeah.
Push a button in TikTok.
Hook up something, that's it, right?
Yeah, I put the gun in the ground. I hook the hose up to the gun. I push the button, and I TikTok.
Yeah. It's that easy. Shit, we TikToking right now.
Bro, it's really, so to come from, Benton County, 203, to dropping fuel, people ask me how did my background even make it. I still don't even know how my background made it, but God granted us with the opportunity. So as I'll go back into COVID, I did a little bit of overspending. I did a lot of overspending, actually. I overextended myself and my company a little bit more, but you can't see that if you got this contract and you think you're doing so great and you think you're up for renewal. When renewal come up, it's COVID, guys is taking, the same loads that you getting $5.50 a mile, they taking $1.50 a mile.
Right.
And I'm not racist and I'm not a hater, but, these dudes, they don't have American bills. They just sending that bread back, out the country, wherever, so they can afford to take $1.50 a mile. So that's why I kind of fuck with Trump and him saying, "Hey, if you don't speak English, you can't be on these American roads hauling American freight." And I'm all for that, you know. So I ended up closing my company down 2023. We didn't renew the contract. I sold my trucks, and I lived for 2 years, you know, just chilling, traveling.
Just eating off the land.
Yeah, for sure. And 2024, met a guy. He said work under him. He'll teach me everything he knows about fuel, and I could go on my own after 12 months. So I did that. Got to delivering fuel, got to kicking ass, #1 in my class, you know, as an employee. Now, last month, we were Harrison Co. Logistics. You know, that was the company I established in 2020. We just rebranded last week. We Harrison Co. Transportation Incorporated. We looking to sign our first contract with a company called Sidar out of Greeley. They haul fuel, but we also looking to sign with a company out of Georgia called Fuel South Express. Got deals on the table with both of those guys.
Okay.
Both guys are good guys to me. I know both of them very well. It's just what I want to do and how I want to do it. The opportunities are there. I just got to get a few drivers. I know the game wholeheartedly. I'm going to do some driving, but, you know, instead of just dry freight like we were doing, we're going to go into hazardous liquid, you know, hazardous material, which is, diesel fuel is 1993, and regular, gasoline is 1203. So we'll be hauling both of those, probably with a little bit of ethanol as well.
Okay. You got a lot going on. I see you, man.
Man, it's just, I got a 2-year-old, bro. So his birthday's coming up on the 14th. You got to eat.
Yeah.
And I'm healthy now. So, I actually had a blood clot. It actually closed. And I went back. I had a surgery like 6 weeks ago. So I got another good 5 years, with this tip. So I got the opportunity to run it up, all over the country for another 5 years. I'm 42. I'll be 43 in January. So my goal is, to tap out while I'm 50. But as long as these highways is running, and the opportunity, the opportunities is there for anybody that really want to get into it, because it's not enough of us. Right. If you see how many, and this is just for gasoline, like there's other opportunities with freight all over America, but in my specialized industry with fuel, if you look just in Colorado, every corner they're building a gas station. Mm-hmm. And why is that? Because there's gas-operated cars. Mm-hmm. You got electric cars. I got an electric Porsche. You know what I'm saying? But I got a Cadillac Escalade, too, that takes 91, just like everybody else. Right. So they need gas. Gas stations are going up. And at least for 30 years, you'll be able to run fuel and get, it's a high priority. You need it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I know I need fuel. What is that, 91 or something?
$4.
That shit expensive as hell. You got to have your little 25 cents off at Circle K or something.
Yes, you better.
Bruh, nigga, I hate getting gas. I be trying to hit the homie up. He get free gas. Like, hey, let me get some of that free gas. Yeah, straight up.
Free gas.
Yeah. They change it. Put the homie on blast, but yeah, you got them company cars. You got them gas cars.
Yeah, get them gas cars.
I need one of them. I don't know what kind of company I need to open up to get free gas, but we gonna try it one of these days.
You get transportation companies.
Right, right. So with your we gonna wrap it up. But with your you gotta have like your hazmat, or how do people get down with that?
You get on so you need at least 2 years experience driving tractor trailer. Okay. But you can apply for your hazmat and your tankers through the Department of Transportation. Okay. They send you somewhere, get your fingerprints, do your background. If I qualified, I'm pretty sure.
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of squares running around.
Yeah. If I qualified, damn it, you could qualify.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
And then just the pay's different from being a regular truck driver to a hazmat driver. You're gonna see, probably $1,500 a week difference.
That's a lick right there.
Oh yeah, for sure. You'll see from like 75,000 to about 100,000, 110,000, just in that, and that's like no experience.
Yeah.
So the experienced guys, that are working for companies that are, W-2 employees,
Right.
I know those guys getting like 42 an hour.
That's crazy.
Just to go to the gas station, back to the rack, they getting like 42 an hour.
That's I thought I was doing good getting 29, but 42 though we had an extra. Wasn't fun 24 and 38 for something. Yeah, whatever it is, that's a nice jump, boy. We can get shit. I'll take it. But anyways, yeah, man, we gonna go ahead and wrap it up. How can the people get in contact with you? You on social media? What you on?
Yep, I'm on social media. DONWEZ through all the social medias.
Okay.
We in the process of building a website now, but you can Google Harris Transport or let me do it right. Harris Co Transportation. Websites in the making. I just got the logo back yesterday from my guy Larry Green, Dane Washington. Big ups on the website. I mean on the logo, and same with Larry Green. I appreciate both of you guys with the graphics.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool, man. I appreciate you for coming through, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Solid, man. A lot of people say they're gonna come and they be like, oh, well, I got something that came up, but I appreciate you. So
for sure.
Yeah. Man, it's been real, man. It's Freddie with Flip Your Flow. I got Donnie with me, man. We had a good little episode, man. Y'all stay tuned for the next one. We out.